Welcome to Hope with Jonathan. I'm Jonathan Traylor, a kidney transplant recipient. Based on my near-death experience with kidney failure, we now spotlight kidney patients' story, giving them a platform to express their personal journey with battling kidney disease, kidney failure, dialysis, waiting for kidney transplant, and much more. We share stories of hope right here on the Hope with Jonathan podcast. Hope with Jonathan podcast is a Hope Media production. Never let hope become a memory. Hope with Jonathan podcast is a Hope Media production. Hey guys, have you been over to hopewithjonathan.com? You can actually listen to the audio podcast, watch live streaming interviews, purchase merch to help support Hope with Jonathan podcast, read blogs, and much, much more. For more information on this, go check out hopewithjonathan.com, where we share stories of hope. Around 17 people are dying daily waiting on a life-saving organ. Each donor can save up to 8 lives and enhance over 75 more. In the year 2020, over 39,000 transplants were performed. And every 9 minutes, another person is added to the transplant wait list. And over 90,000 people, individuals, human beings are waiting on a life-saving kidney. You can make this all possible if you donate. Go to donatelife.net and sign up to be a donor today. And who all can be a living kidney donor? Well, guys, I'm going to answer that for you really quickly. Anyone over the age of 18 years of age, in good physical and mental health, medical conditions such as uncontrolled high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, and certain infections or certain uncontrolled psychiatric conditions could prevent you from becoming a living donor. That's all going to be left up and determined to your center. Some cases, health conditions can harm a transplant recipient, so it is important that you share all the information about your physical and mental health. And if you go through the process, you'll definitely be heavily screened. But listen, guys, I'm glad you guys joined us tonight. We have a lot of people joining us tonight. Appreciate all the support for Hope with Jonathan. I'm glad that we have a lot of people here that are supporting Debbie tonight. Can't wait to bring her on. I was talking with her backstage, and she's really got an awesome personality. Guys, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us over here on YouTube. Please do so right now and show your support for us for Hope with Jonathan as we share these warrior stories. Really appreciate everyone for showing up tonight. We've got Arlen Hatcher from Canada. Thank you for showing up tonight. Appreciate your support. We've got Dwaylen Williams in the house from kidneytrails.com. Thanks again, Dwaylen, for your undying, unwavering support for Hope with Jonathan. Really appreciate you. Melissa Traylor, my wife, my beautiful wife, best friend, thank you for showing up tonight. Appreciate your support. And we've got Tasha Wallace. Really appreciate you. Really appreciate you showing up tonight. We can definitely get into that subject. Got some great comments coming in and a great question there. My thoughts are on that subject is go ahead and get that vaccine. regardless of your political, religious beliefs, or what have you. Go ahead and get that vaccine, and go ahead and get that transplant. That's my answer to that question. And hello, everyone. Hey, ordinary jackass, what's up? You're in the house tonight. Thanks for showing up for Hope with Jonathan. That's a funny name for a YouTube channel. But hey, guys, again, really want to bring a lot of support tonight and awareness to kidney disease. And our whole feature tonight on this show is to feature Debbie and her warrior story. So, guys, without further ado, all the way from the state of Georgia, we're going to go ahead and bring on our special guest tonight, Miss Debbie Rabjohn. Welcome to the show, Debbie.
Everybody shake it, baby.
Welcome, Debbie. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Jonathan?
I'm doing well. It was really nice to meet you backstage, and looking forward to interviewing you tonight on Hope with Jonathan.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. On your question about the vaccine, I agree. You know what? We get sent very early on that we need to get a vaccine for the transplant to be ready for the transplant. And I just feel like if you're serious about getting a transplant and being ready for it to happen, then you should be vaccinated and ready to go.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so many other vaccines that you have to get and prove those vaccinations before. And, COVID vaccine is part of that regimen now. It's going to be a part of our life. I believe that it's going to be around to stay. It's just going to continue to evolve. I don't think it's going anywhere. And it's something that as humanity, we're going to have to deal with. And something as simple as taking a vaccine, I don't think should stand in the way of a life-saving organ, especially if you have a family. I've seen some stories on the internet where people are saying, and they've got like small children, they're still refusing to get the vaccine, and they're losing out on getting a transplant. To me, that's heartbreaking, but that's my opinion.
Absolutely, mine as well. And I was ready to get mine as soon as they let me. I actually asked my transplant coordinator the day that I got my interview was, what was his feelings about it. And it was very new at that point. And as we went, they started sending out the letters that you have to be vaccinated. And then that you needed the booster and you needed the third one. So,
Yeah, absolutely agree. So, Debbie, why don't you introduce yourself and let us know where you're from, talk about your family and all that stuff.
Okay. I'm actually from South Carolina, born in a small town called Timminsville. Lived in California for about 20 years. And about 16 years ago, my husband and my two daughters moved to Georgia. And we live in Canton, which is North Georgia. We're about 40 minutes north of Atlanta. I have two beautiful daughters. One that is 34 and has a beautiful little grandson, gave me my biggest gift ever. And then I have a daughter that will be graduating in May with her master's. And hey, Caitlin. And then I have a grandson, Jace, that is actually, I would do the transplant every day if I had to, just so I could be here with him. So
that's awesome. I've been to the Atlanta a couple of times. I got some family in Marietta, Georgia, or Marietta, however you want to say it, Georgia. Yeah. I've been there a couple of times. They took me to the Stone Mountain. So it's probably changed a lot since then, because I think that was in like the late 80s.
So it doesn't change that much.
Yeah. So, but Atlanta's a busy place. It's a kind of a throughway for a lot of different cities that you can get to really, really quickly. So there's a lot of traffic and a lot of people there in Atlanta. It's a busy city.
Atlanta is very busy. Like I said, I live out in the suburbs and in Canton, and it's just very,
Yeah.
um, it's just a big family. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like San Antonio. We live on the outskirts. We're about probably 50 minutes or so from the outskirts of San Antonio. But once you hit San Antonio, you're in the big city. You better get ready, start driving like a NASCAR driver, or
exactly.
get out of the way. You better
Yes.
get out of the way.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so Debbie, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got diagnosed with kidney disease?
Actually, my baby daughter was about 10 months old and was in the hospital. And while she was there, my doctor came in, or her doctor came in, and he said, well, I was going to let her go home today. But he looked down at my legs and he said, you're really swollen, and I'm not going to let her go home until you find out. And I'm like, oh, it's just because I've been on my feet. And he's like, mm-mm. So he actually called my general practitioner across the street, sent me over there. The nurse practitioner walked in and said, you need a nephrologist and you need it now. So they called a nephrologist that happened to be in the same building, sent me upstairs, had my first little consult with him. They set me up for a kidney biopsy. I did that. And then my doctor went on vacation. And so his partner actually called to prescribe some medication and let it slip that I had an incurable kidney disease by accident, because I got told by that way. So
Wow.
it was 23 years ago, and they said that I would probably be on dialysis within 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
23 years and I'm still running. So
What was the incurable kidney disease?
it's called membranous glomerulonephritis.
Okay. I've never heard of that before. So can you describe to us or tell us exactly how it affects the kidneys?
It's rare. It's actually in the filtering system. It causes my kidneys not to be able to filter out any of the toxins. And for a long time, medication and, controlled the symptoms, I should say. But as time went on, my blood pressure has been a battle that we've fought for 23 years. Actually have been hospitalized several times because they couldn't control it.
Yeah.
Um, and, of course, you have high cholesterol. There's just,
Yeah.
I have my hemoglobin is low. So it's really all over the place.
Are you anemic as well?
I'm highly anemic. Yes.
Yeah. That's a common sign, of kidney disease. And then high blood pressure. As a matter
Mhm.
of fact, for chronic kidney disease, type 2 diabetes or diabetes in general, whether it's type 2, type 1,
Mhm.
and hypertension are the top leading causes of chronic kidney disease, ultimately ending up in kidney failure,
Right.
and could cause kidney failure. Especially if it's uncontrolled for a long period of time.
Mhm.
You talked about high blood pressure and being hospitalized. How many blood pressure medications are you currently on?
Mm, about 4 in the morning and 3 at night.
Yeah, it sounds. Me and you kind of have a similar story. I was on about three different blood pressure medications. I had what was it, metoprolol,
Yeah.
nifedipine, and losartan was another one that I had me on. So
Mhm.
lisinopril for a while.
Yeah. Um, it's amazing. I take about 10 pills every morning
Hmm.
and control this, that, or the other.
Right.
And then I take about 9 pills every evening.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then 3 midday.
It's amazing how many pills that people see you on if they have ever seen you do your pills or get your pills out, and people
Yeah.
just kind of look like, wow. I mean, I had literally this huge tub, which I still kind of
Mhm.
I'm a kidney transplant recipient, so of course
Right.
I'm going to be on meds the rest of my life. I take probably around 16 or 17 pills a day, but anyway, I have a pill box that
Mhm.
it's actually a container, a plastic tub that I
Right.
organize my pills and do that. And people sometimes are looking at me like, well, like family members and stuff. So, what's the reaction to people about your disease?
Um, Probably the biggest thing is people say to me is, "You don't look sick,"
Yeah, that's
and
common.
and you don't know how to respond because what are you going to say? I'm sorry, I don't look sick, but I'm sick.
Yeah,
Um, um, and like recently for me, I went from stage 4 to stage 5, kidney failure, and I went down to 10% kidney function, which you will know that it causes extreme fatigue.
right.
Um, and I went from being super active in my community, in my school district, serving on everything to literally, I stay in one club and I'm the president of it. And just, working for that because I don't have the energy to do all the other stuff anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, chronic fatigue is another sign and symptom of kidney disease, and one of them that I ignored because I was sleeping. I was sleeping a lot,
Mhm.
and seemed like I had to have a nap all the time, and I just didn't associate that with kidney disease, but it definitely was a major sign of kidney disease. I did everything backwards, Debbie. I wasn't going to the doctors like you are. Um, I skipped all that. I thought I was immune to doctors and things like that. So I ended up crashing into dialysis. So a lot of the signs and symptoms I look back on and realize that the signs and symptoms were there, but I wasn't paying attention to them. And a lot of it was due to lack of education. Do you find that there's a lack of education in your community?
Not really the lack of education. People understand it, but if you don't deal with kidney disease, you don't understand that part of it. You know, um, when someone has cancer or someone has, other issues, they have symptoms or they may look like they're sick or, that kind of thing. And then with me, it just is a continuous, I'm tired. It's not that I feel sick.
Hmm.
I feel sick and tired of being sick and tired. Um, but more than anything, it's just, not having the energy to do the things that I want to do.
Yeah,
Like I said, everybody, I think my girlfriend said to me, and I think it was when the realization hit me, is that she had never seen me be still.
yeah,
And then that she sat here with me for over an hour and I didn't move out of my chair. So she knew that
yeah,
it had really progressed. Um, but most people, when I talk to them, they don't understand what the kidney disease is per se, but they understand, you know, that I need a transplant
yeah.
to survive or
Yeah, we were talking about that backstage about it seems like people don't understand kidney disease or even want to understand about kidney disease or kidney failure or transplant until it happens to them.
right.
It seems like they have to experience it before they're interested in the subject.
Right.
And we really need to change the narrative on that and get the education out there and make it worldwide. Um, what's your thoughts on that?
I absolutely agree. The other thing is people don't understand being a donor. I think people are afraid of that, and they don't. They think that if they give their kidney away, that they're going to be sick or they're going to be in the same situation. Which is not true.
Hmm.
But it's a simple procedure for the most
Right.
part.
Yep.
Um, you know, to become a donor is a matter of doing a few blood tests, to
Yep.
see if you do. And then,
Yep.
you, moving forward, if you are a match, it's an x-ray and some ultrasounds and some more blood work.
Yep.
So it's nothing that causes pain or anything else to anyone.
Yep. Yeah, and if you're willing to go through the process and become your donor, even if you come out that you're not a matching blood type, and Debbie's a blood type, which means she can also accept an O blood type kidney. There are programs out there that are called the paired exchange. There's voucher programs. So even if you're an incompatible blood type and you wanted to donate to Debbie and test for Debbie, you could donate on her behalf, and Debbie would end up getting a kidney through these paired exchange and voucher programs. And if you're interested in that at all, I can definitely get you all the information regarding that. I'm pretty sure Piedmont Hospital. Uh, goes along with the program of the paired exchange and the voucher
Absolutely.
program. And but we had a statement here really quickly I want to address about someone being concerned because they're taking diabetes medication. There's actually, my cousin lives in North Carolina. Tasha, I would just tell you and recommend you to continue to stay encouraged and just control your diabetes as well as possible.
Absolutely.
Definitely stay on top of your labs. Go to your primary care and ask for a blood test regarding specifically your kidneys. They can test the measure and look at the creatinine, and that will tell them the kidney function and things like that. Your overall GFR, EGFR, your bun, and all that stuff, and they'll look at that, and that'll tell them the kidney function. Also, you can do a urinalysis as well and see if you got protein spilling in the urine, things like that, and that's a sign of kidney disease as well. So definitely go to your doctor, stay on top of your labs, and just encourage you to continue to try to control your, diabetes and blood pressure, and stay encouraged. But I just wanted to address that really quickly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's very important to, with any symptoms that you have. For me, I, for years and years and years, every time I had labs done
Hmm.
or every time I had to give a urine sample, they'd always come back and say, you have a trace of blood and you have protein.
Hmm.
They sent me to 3 different urologists and they all said, oh, you're fine. It's fine. Not that probably could have been a bigger outcome or a change in the outcome.
Hmm.
But that was my early symptoms of my kidney disease and they didn't catch it.
Yeah, and that's crazy. A lot of people, especially early on, and we're talking about from like years ago, where people would get like protein in their urine, and the doctors would just kind of overlook at it. And now
Mhm,
they know it's a precursor of kidney
mhm.
disease, and they need to do something right away about it. And but yeah, I've heard so many stories, and different kidney warriors talk about, yeah, the doctor said I have protein in the urine, but they didn't worry about it. They were like, it'll be okay. It's just this
Right.
trace, small trace, no big deal. And then years later, here they are on dialysis, needing the kidney. And, it's like, oh, I slipped through the cracks on that one. So
Right.
it's easily done. Why don't you talk a little bit about your support? Who's your support? Because support is so crucial when you're battling a chronic illness.
Um, I would say my biggest support is my husband. Um, he has literally been my rock through this. He doesn't make a big deal out of it, but yet he supports me. Um, always there to listen. Um, but my group of friends, like I have a group of friends who have just rallied around me. And been there for me through it all, on those days that, and I'm sure anybody, especially you've had a transplant, that there are some days that you do everything in your power to keep hope. You
Yeah.
know, last Friday, I was told that the well is dry, that no one is testing on my behalf. That's a
Yeah.
hard thing to hear
Mm.
when your doctor has just told you that you need that transplant more now than ever and that you're down to 10% kidney function, that they can't hold off from doing dialysis. Um, and I think I've shared with you that um, I have a huge fear of dialysis. And I have said from day one that I didn't know that I would have or go on it. And in dealing with, you know, talking with you, talking with Kent, talking with, Kidney Solutions and
Mm-hmm.
listening to other people who have been through,
Mm-hmm.
everybody keeps telling me, do it, do it. It'll make a difference. It'll at least
Mm-hmm.
keep you alive while you
Mm-hmm.
go and while you're waiting on that kidney. So, I just keep praying about it and hoping that, the kidney will come. Um, but I believe that God has a plan for me, and so I just trust in that.
Absolutely. He definitely has a plan. You're still here for a reason, telling your story. And Debbie, I just want to let you know by telling your story, you're giving other people hope. And I know that it's tough to believe that, but listen to your story. I mean, it sounds like you've been through a lot over the last 20 some odd years, and it takes a tough person to battle a chronic condition like kidney disease. And anybody that says differently has never been through it. And I know you got a strong support because I seen the pictures for your birthday, and it looked like you had an excellent time. So I just want to wish you a happy birthday on the show.
Thank you. Thank you. You know
Yeah.
what? Turning 59, I was like, oh, but I have to say how blessed I am. And every day that I'm here is just
Hmm.
another day. It's another blessing.
Hmm.
And you're right. I have an amazing support group with my
Hmm.
friends
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
they're always here. They make sure, if I'm really not feeling well or I've been in the hospital, there's always a meal on my table. Somebody's dropping off. Um, my friend Cindy, um, make sure that, everything is in place and done. And so I just have to say, in saying that I'm completely blessed with amazing friends that make sure that, I know that I'm cared about and that I'm loved and I'm supported. And, if I need a ride to the hospital or a ride, they're there,
Yeah,
you know. Um,
absolutely.
when I had a concern, like, when you go through all of the paperwork and all of that, and they explain to you when you get a kidney, you have to go to the hospital, 3 times a week after you have your transplant. I was like, oh my gosh, my husband works, and my daughter's in school. And, so it was kind of like, and my friends were like, oh, don't worry about it. We got you. So,
Abs- Absolutely. That's awesome. That's wonderful to have. Such a blessing. Some of those things that people don't realize they have in their life, they take it for granted. So that's a beautiful thing to have that kind of support and friendship and love. You talked a little bit about Kidney Solutions, and we mentioned them.
yeah.
What have they done for you, and what kind of support do they offer you?
Kidney Solutions Kent has been amazing. Always there to answer my questions. But Kent has, you know, sent me flyers, had flyers made for me to put up in my community. Um, every Monday night there's a kidney support group that we can sit in on, and, you learn things and you get to talk about it with people that actually understand what you're talking about. You can ask questions about your symptoms, and they're there to answer you. And no one goes, oh, it's just everything. You can ask anything you need to ask.
Yeah. It's been a huge support for me as well. They've been there for me. Of course, I live in the same town that Kent lives in,
Oh, okay.
and so my story with him is a kind of a crazy one, but it's a God story if there is a thing,
Oh,
because my wife was having gallbladder surgery, and a nurse at the hospital handed me and actually handed her the business card for Kidney Solutions,
oh,
and right before she went back for surgery. And then she handed the card to me, and I called him the next day, and we met here locally in town, and when we connected, connected instantly,
oh,
and it was a great connection for me. I mean, he showed me so much support, showed me how to advocate for myself, and really was in my corner. And I got out and I passed out flyers, and he handled all the phone calls. People were calling in for me and things like that, and he would call me almost every day, and or at least, a couple times a week, and staying in contact. And then, of course, the support groups, which we've mentioned already. Support is just, man, it's just so crucial
It
when you're
is.
battling kidney disease. Because, I mean, there's a lot that comes with it. I mean, you have anxiety, you have fear, you have depression, you have questions. And these are real problems that happen to a lot of people. And I can't imagine battling a illness like kidney disease, going through kidney failure, transplant, looking for a donor. I mean, going through that alone would be a lonely process for sure.
It is. And, before, um, I always said like, oh, I don't have depression. And I don't have depression in the clinical sense of depression. I just sat because the kidney journey, the kidney disease journey, the transplant journey is really one that you have to travel on your own. Nobody can travel it for you. No one can go get tested for you. No one can, sit in there and get labs. I get labs pretty much every week.
Yeah.
Um, and no one can do that for you. And just, for a while, much better now that I have like Kidney Solutions U and other groups to, kind of get me through. But there were so many nights that I would just sit or lay in my bed and just be like, what's going to happen? I
Hmm.
don't know what to expect, you know. And I would cry. Like I actually would just sit and cry because I was like, I don't know what is coming down the pike.
Yeah.
Um, when you want to see your children grow up, I have 2 daughters. I want to see them get married.
Yeah.
I have a grandson. That is my whole world. And I want to see him grow up and graduate from high school and go to college. I want to see all the things that everybody else wants to see with their children, their grandchildren. I want to go on vacations with my husband. I want to go make memories with my grandson. And what people don't understand is when you are on the transplant list, you can't do that.
Right.
Like I'm not allowed to travel, like, or if I do, I have to let them know that I'm going to be more than 2 hours away from my home.
Hmm.
Um, so like I said, sometimes it's a lonesome journey that you're on, but thank goodness for I've found, everyone for you know, the support groups and stuff that has helped me get through this.
Yeah.
Um, and then, like I said, I'm blessed that I have great friends, but at midnight when you're not sleeping, you have only you to deal with. And,
Yeah.
sometimes that's a very lonely place to be.
Yeah. So far you've been able to advert the the D word, the dialysis.
I don't like
And
that word.
you've gone for so long now, and you've done really well. What type of ways? I mean, are you following a renal diet? I mean, is there what in what ways are you trying to avert dialysis?
I drink lots of water.
Hmm. Hmm.
um, Before, I have to be very honest. Even when I first found out I had a kidney disease, um, I didn't do all the things that I should have done, because the symptoms weren't bad enough.
Hmm.
You don't really change your lifestyle. But like now, like I know, like I had to give up one of my things that I love more than anything, which is spinach salads. Um, like I'll have one a month because I
Okay.
can't have the potassium.
Right.
Um, Potatoes, I've had to learn, I love potatoes. I'm a meat and potato girl.
Hmm.
I've had to learn, like, if I want to eat something with potatoes, I have to soak them and get, the starches out of them.
Yeah.
Um, that
Hmm.
kind of thing, So it's actually a lot of just thinking ahead of what I'm doing,
Hmm.
cutting back, trying only to have beef like once or twice a week.
Yeah.
And sadly for me, my husband doesn't eat any fish. I only eat a few kinds.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm not a chicken fan, so it's difficult for me.
Mm,
But we have found ways around it and learning how to do it.
yeah.
Um, you know, I
Uh,
I watch what I eat.
yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a lifestyle change for sure. And then, if you do ultimately go into complete kidney failure, they'll they'll want to change your diet a little bit and want you to eat protein. Of course, I know before now they're trying to get you to back off of the
Right.
protein. It's not really good for you right now. And then, so it's kind of there's a lot of different changes, with the kid between, fighting and battling kidney disease and staying on this side of the fence. And then once you go into kidney failure, then they want you to change some of those things. And I remember when I was in kidney failure, I ate a lot of pork chops.
Mm.
Pork chops, steamed vegetables, and white rice. And I ate that meal religiously for like, I think a whole year.
Ugh.
That was like dinner. I ate a lot of repeat meals
Mhm.
because they worked for me and they kept my labs right. And so early mornings were like eggs, and then for like lunch was like a turkey sandwich or something like that, and then I would eat like pork chop, white rice, and steamed. My kidney failure diet was very boring. I was scared to eat anything because of what had happened to me. It was just a really traumatic event. I had experienced a near death experience with it. So I crashed into dialysis. But I think we spent 2 hours or so in the grocery store looking at labels and doing the research. And it was just incredible. It's such an undertaking following all this. With the renal diet and all that stuff, there's a lot to it that a lot of people don't even realize that goes
Giving
into
up red sauce
it.
and tomatoes. I love fresh tomatoes out of the garden.
Yeah,
So this summer, my numbers kept spiking a little bit.
yeah.
Like my potassium kept
Mhm,
spiking because
mhm,
I kept eating tomatoes.
mhm.
Um,
Yeah,
so it's kind of one of those things. You really do have to be aware of what you're eating. Um,
mhm.
Luckily for me, my nephrologist, Dr. Nath, is very much the guy that says, listen, you don't have to not have it at all, but you have to have it in moderation,
Absolutely.
because he feels like if you just say, you can't have it,
Mhm.
then it just, it's one of those things. It's harder to be told that. So he
Yeah.
just tells me all the time to do it in moderation.
Well, now that I'm a transplant recipient, that's what I live by is everything in moderation. I now enjoy a few things that I didn't on the renal diet, but I don't eat like I did before. So if I'm going to eat pizza, I'm not going to eat 6 slices. I'm going to
Right.
eat two.
Right.
If I'm gonna indulge in ice cream today, I'm not gonna eat ice cream for 4 or 5 6 days, maybe another week. I may not, it's all in moderation. And I think being mindful of what you're doing and things like that, just being mindful. Beforehand, before kidney failure, I lived a lifestyle of I wasn't accepting of what I did, or I wasn't taking responsibility for things, and I wasn't accountable. I wasn't holding myself accountable. And I think that goes into it too. You have to hold yourself accountable for choices that you make in life.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
For me right now, like I said, it's a matter. I do most of the cooking, so I know that if I'm going to have a pasta dish with a red sauce, you know, this week, I won't have it at all next week.
Yeah.
It'll be, maybe twice a month now.
Absolutely.
Where it used to be once a week because I love red sauce. But, you just learn to eat in a
Hmm.
different way. And,
Right. Right.
and I'm good with that. Like I said, I learned to drink water. I never drank water.
Yeah.
And then,
Well, I believe water is life. I mean, I drink a ton of water all day long.
I do
Uh,
too.
I stay away from sodas. I do occasionally with dinner. Sometimes I'll drink some unsweet tea with maybe some lemon in it or lime. I live in Texas, so we use lime down here. But I try to uh, make my unsweet tea taste as good as I can because I'm still type 2 diabetic
Mhm.
even after transplant, and I'm not hypertensive anymore though. So that was one thing that went away when I got my kidney transplant, and so that was amazing. Those three blood pressure medications went out the window, and then there was a little word that I incorporated into my regimen as well called exercise, and so I started a huge exercise regimen with walking and. Of course, now I'm in the gym and I'm lifting weights and things like that. But I become real mindful of my health, and if you experience kidney failure or go through this kind of process, anybody that's listening out there, it will totally change your life. I mean, you will become mindful of things that you never took in your mind before. And it's incredible of how much of a lifestyle change it really is.
Yes.
But Debbie, where are you registered at? That in case people were interested in possibly potentially being your donor.
I'm at Piedmont right now.
Hmm.
My plan is to also join at Emory,
Hmm.
but my donor coordinator is Barb
Hmm.
O'Neill,
Okay.
and you can reach out to her at Piedmont, and she will send you the form to
Mhm.
do the questionnaire, and that's how it gets started.
Absolutely, and we've also got the phone number scrolling below for the transplant coordinator there at Piedmont, as you can see on the ticker that's scrolling
Oh
below.
yeah.
We've also got her blood type there, blood type A, which means she can accept an O. Her program also goes along with the paired exchange. They are involved with that paired exchange program. There's also the voucher program. 1-404-605-4600. Also, you can contact Kidney Solutions at 1-830-285-2140. You can ask to speak with Kent Bressler. She's also listed on their website at kidneysolutions.org. And they have the link right there for her transplant facility that you can get in contact with. And we want to encourage Debbie to continue in her journey to keep having hope and faith. That's why we brought her on the show tonight, and really appreciate Debbie for coming on Hope with Jonathan, sharing her story. You've been a real delight. Great story, lots of information shared. You've had a huge amount of support. Lots of people that have showed love and support for you. Lots of people watching for you, and so. Really appreciate it. I believe this is someone you know right there, Cherokee.
Hey, Chair.
and so, and we really appreciate all our support tonight. We've got people watching from all over Canada, Toronto, Canada, and here in Texas, just all over. Lots
I
of
see
great
some South
support.
Carolina people in
South,
there too.
South Carolina, we had a representative from North Carolina, one from Phoenix, Arizona, and so we've got some great. Let's see. Oh, she's talking. Okay, my wife's talking to me about.
I love your wife's messages coming up. Thank you,
Mhm.
Melissa.
She's talking about you possibly having like a. I don't know if you've already done this or not. Getting some decals made for your car. Maybe some T-shirts printed up. Maybe you've already done that.
I
I
have
don't know.
not, but I got a cricket or a circuit for Christmas, and I will be
Hmm.
making one tomorrow.
Yeah. They are great conversation starters. If anything, you can get I need a kidney donor or whatever you'd like to say on it, and then have your phone number. You can even put Kidney Solutions phone number on there, and Kent would gladly help you out with that and handle all those phone calls for you. But KWM, appreciate you all the way from Toronto, Canada. Kyle Hockridge for watching the show. Anthony Reed from kidneytrails.com. Anybody that's out there that's watching, go check out kidneytrails.com. They're doing amazing things. Great kidney community right there. Let's see. Chris. Oh, okay. Appreciate you, Chris, all the way from Arnold, Missouri. watching
Another
the
one of my
show.
girlfriends.
So appreciate you showing and showing support for Debbie. Debbie, real quickly before we end the show, I know we had James Fabian from Dad Vice TV. If you guys aren't already subscribed to his channel, go check him out. He's got over 100,000 subscribers over here on YouTube, and he shares great information on kidney disease and dialysis, transplant, more. He's a great advocate. He's a kidney warrior himself. His name's James Fabian. He's got a channel called Dad Vice TV, so y'all go check him out as well. But appreciate all the support. Michelle, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you for watching the show tonight. Debbie, really quickly, I always ask this for people that come on the show and they're looking for a kidney, looking for a donor. But what would a kidney do for you right now, and how would it change your life right now?
It definitely would give me hope. It would change my life because without a kidney, without getting a donor, I am going to be going on dialysis if that's the road I choose to do. If not, you die. I mean, it's that simple. There is no cure. There is nothing else to do. I have done everything that my doctor has come up with me to do. So, I need a donor to live.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah. Absolutely. And a kidney donor would do that for you. Definitely. It would change this whole outcome of having to deal with, what you're going through right now and everything you've expressed in the interview. Guys, again, if you're interested at all, you can reach out to us, Kidney Solutions, 830-285-2140. And we've got all the information for Debbie. And appreciate you, Debbie, for coming on tonight. It's been an incredible show. You want to send any shout outs to anybody before we close out the show?
I have seen so many. My nieces are on here. Thank you. My niece from California just showed she's here. I just can't say thank you enough for all your support, everyone. I love you guys. We will do this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So many people showing so much love for you and so much support that I truly believe that there is a donor for you somewhere, whether it's going to be a deceased or cadaver donor or a living kidney donor that steps up for you and wants to be your donor, your donor hero. And you never know, it could come from an unlikely source, but I definitely believe that God has a plan. And God has a plan for each one of us. And you're here. You're a living witness of that. And the comments just keep pouring in. I'm trying to throw them up before we close out the show. There's so many people loving you, showing you so much love.
Love you.
So much love. You got this, man. You got support. That is awesome.
Thank you, Melissa.
And you got Kenny here telling you not to lose hope. And so amazing.
Thanks, Kenny.
Amazing support for you tonight. Lots of love for you and support. So that's always amazing.
Thank you.
And thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. And God bless you all. And you know what? Even if it's not for me, be a donor if you can.
Absolutely. Donate Life, guys. Go to donatelife.net. You can sign up. Actually, I know if you have an iPhone, you can do it right from your iPhone. But you can go to donatelife.net and easily register to be a donor and check yes at the DMV, most definitely. There's so many people. I discussed it at the beginning of the show, over 100,000 people waiting right now on a life-saving organ. Over 90,000 people are kidney patients waiting on a life-saving kidney. That's an incredible statistic. I think it said every 9 minutes someone is added to that list. And it's staggering. The statistics are just staggering. But hey, guys, God bless you guys. Thanks again for tuning in to Hope with Jonathan.
We'll do, Kim.
And we're gonna close out this show. And you guys have been amazing. Thank you guys for showing up tonight for Debbie and support. And I hope you guys got a chance to hit that subscribe button for me to show support to our channel. What we're doing here with Hope with Jonathan, sharing stories of hope. And we're gonna end this show tonight. And God bless you guys. Take care.
KidneySolutions.org, a network of transplant experience. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. KidneySolutions.org. Kidney transplantation is an excellent option for patients with kidney disease who want to live a life free of dialysis. Kidney Solutions is facilitated by transplant professionals, recipients, and living donors who want to assist patients in finding a living kidney donor and help them and their families through the pre- and post-transplant process. You can contact Kidney Solutions at 830-285-2140. Again, KidneySolutions.org, a network of transplant experience.